Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to Happen iOS. And today is the Rant, episode 26. We're going to be talking about community standards. Do you have community standards? Hello. Welcome to the show. I hope you're all doing well. As I said, my name's Jade. Just excuse me for a minute. Let me put a little bit of light on the situation. Already starting with zingers up the wazoo. All right, let me begin by saying today's show, The Rant, like all rants, may feature sensitive topics that may upset you. There may be things I say that may be offensive and may trigger you. And if you feel triggered, please feel free to go somewhere else. Take a break, walk away. These are unfiltered rants that I just go where I go. And sometimes I get a little bit, we may have technical difficulties. All right, just got to put that out there. And I will be doing so now for every rant, just in case. All righty. So here we are. It's a Monday morning here in Australia, Sunday for the rest of you around the world. And I hope you're all feeling okay and recovered from the massive weekend of music that has happened, just like every day or every weekend we have across this really beautiful community that, encourages music and companionship and not being a total if you know what I'm saying. Let's say hello to some of you in the chat and then we'll get to ranting a little bit today. Hello, Hugh Caldwell and Thomas Christ and Forrester the Wolf. We got Mateus. We got Auntie G's in the house. Well, we got a full house today. All here to hear me rant about community. Damn. I better do a good show. Ed B, Joe, Ali, Pookie, who else? Let me see. I see lots and lots of you. Chris Lane Sr., thank you for that very sweet message, Chris, I just got before the show. Mwah. Back at you, my friend. Kim Hudden Hudson is in the house. The Chandler, one of the Chandlers is here, who I got to master the new Chandler Brothers song, and let me tell you, it's a ripper. Today's featured artist, by the way, is our dear friend Glenn Clark, who is just, man, his new video clip, his new song, it is a sensational. You're going to love it. He just continues to outdo himself. Hello, Deep Gravity. Ed B. Metal, Ed B. Metal. Ed likes the B metal. And Greg O'Sullivan, g'day to you. Trying to find you all. So I've lost a lot of the chat because this is Roque Avocado in the house. Blue Unicorn, hello. Have I got everyone? Have I missed you? If I've missed you, tell me. Oh, Andy Goldsby. Did I get Andy? Andy Goldsby. Man, it's a very, very old school little house we got here of little old school folks, yeah. Shelley, hello. Much love to you, Shelley. All right, I think I got you all. Yeah. So just to fill you in, I'm a little bit under the weather today. Roque. Yeah, it's his name, really. Look at it. See it there? Roque. See? I'm not good. I'm an Australian. You have to give me some leeway for mispronouncing people's names. So I'm a little bit under the weather today. Why is that? Well, yesterday I had the pleasure to perform over on Camp G May's Winterfest. And let me tell you something about that show. It was, just for context, for people who didn't understand. Brad Example, hello. Yes, Brad Example was fantastic last night, as were all the amazing performers over at Camp G May. It was, look, G May, I love G May. All of you know this. I've had him on the show. There's something very special about G May. He's as crazy as a fucking cut snake, right? We all know that. He's just a wild man. Did you see his lighting on his face last night, folks? He could have done with a little more light, don't you think? He's a wild man. He's entertaining, but I'll tell you what, right? Whatever you think of G-May, that dude's heart is bigger than this planet. He puts people ahead of himself. He really does. He really wants people to shine. And he's a very beautiful human being. And I'll always love G-May so very much. And he put on a spectacular show last night, holding it together all the way through, keeping the show rolling, keeping, over 20 acts of people like us who are unreliable, misguided miscreants of the music industry, desperate to share our wares with the world. And he just held it together with just suave and just absolute beauty. Yeah, he's a beautiful man, even though he looked like a ghost last night. Princess LDG, hello. Love you, Princess. Ron, Wolfstone Studio, mastered a brand new song from Wolfstone Studio yesterday. Banger, another one. You got some great music coming, my friends. There's some really good music coming out over the next couple of weeks or whenever they drop. The first 3 hours I thought it was the ghost of G-May. But getting on, just going back there last night. So I was lucky enough to perform amidst an amazing array of talent. Leela, hello. And unfortunately, you guys got to see the dark side of what happens to me on an almost daily basis. And during my set, I exploded into blood, and we had blood everywhere. It was a bloody show. Can I show you a bit of it without getting, because I'll probably get done. Here we go. Look at this. This is where we were last night. You know what, folks? When you perform and shit like this happens, you just got to keep going, right? There you go. There's enough of that. I'm probably going to get cancelled by YouTube now for showing it. But show must go on, right? And you know what? Wear it. Wear it like a badge. It is. Look, that doesn't make who I am. That's not who I am. I do my best every day on this channel to shield that from you. There's been many times, and you probably wouldn't even notice on this channel, where I've been interviewing people and I'll put the camera onto the guest for maybe a little bit too long. And that's what's going on. But, you know, we all have, as human beings in this community, we all have things that are terrible. My little thing isn't like bigger than your thing. And we've all got these things that we carry on our shoulders every day, and I wish I could, in an instant, take them away from everybody, you know. But these things make us stronger. These things make us value life so much more, I feel, in my opinion. Remember, this is my rant. I'm just here to just spread the rancid crap that comes out of my mouth, as I was informed sometimes I say on this channel. Hello, Secret Legacy. DJ Big Red and Mr. Smith. Right? Everybody farts, exactly. You know, that is the truth. So the fight goes on, and it was ironic that happened last night, pretty much just before that song. I can't get rid of that comment. Go away. Because it is. The fight goes on. You battle through. You push through, because you know what? Fuck, it's just blood. It's just blood. You know, there's so many other good things that happen. To get weighed down by the negative of that, instead of allowing it to fuel you to be better. Trust me, I have experience on this. I've been that person that gave up and lost everything and was in a hole and just wanted to disappear, wanted to unalive. But I'm so glad that I didn't, because I wouldn't be a part of what we're going to talk about today, which is community. And all right, I admit it. So there's a little bit of clickbait to today's show. There is a little bit of clickbait, right? Because you maybe thought I was going to go on some really angry tirade about things, but no. We're going to be calm until I lose my shit. All right, let's talk about the internet for starters. Or let's begin with community. Community, it's something that you hear thrown around on this planet all the time. Like, where did the community go in our world, right? Remember when neighbours used to help each other and people used to look after each other? And supermarkets and people used to trade, and before the big conglomerates took over and control everything, right? And everyone's so pining for community and this memory of community, because remember, member berries are an amazing thing. Hello, FPC, Fat Bang into Cat, Mark Bro. Look, member berries are fantastic. They're great memories, and we all love them and go, remember this, remember that, remember how things used to be. And a lot of the fucking time, those memories weren't that fucking good. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I mean, you've all probably experienced it. You remember that wicked game on Commodore 64 that you used to play, and it was the best game. You sunk so many hours into it, and now you play it and go, what? Who would waste their time playing this? Member berries can be very deceptive. But community, for all of its magical, lights and glamour and spectacular memories of community, isn't always good. Of course, community goes up and down, and community falls apart, and things happen, and things are tight for a time, and it depends on so many scenarios. And look, women, hear me out on this. Men, you probably got no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe if you're a bit more attentive, you'll understand. If you've ever lived in a house with a group of women and one of them gets their period, guess what? Normally by the next month or two, they're all going to get their period at the same time. What I'm trying to say by that is community feeds off each other sometimes. And when it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, guess what? It's fucking bad for everybody. Because, everyone feeds off that. Maybe that individual within the community is maybe a little bit louder than somebody else. So the ebbs and flows of community go up and down. So it's not always those rose-colored glasses of perfection, everything being amazing. So when you hear people go, I wish we could go back to the days when community was a thing. And I think sometimes, wow, I remember being a kid and some of the neighbours in my house, I didn't really want to know them. I wanted to throw rocks through their windows because they weren't very nice in my community. But community is a thing that changes. So it's not always perfect. And it doesn't always have to be policed. This is the point of today's show. I want you to remember what I'm saying here. Community doesn't have to always be policed and always have a set of rules. All right? Because back in the day when the internet started, here on the internet, where we are right now, this comfortable place that we're very comfortable with, but who knows? Tomorrow could be gone. This YouTube thing, Pete John says this all the time, that you can't get too comfortable here on YouTube because, it's borrowed land. It is absolutely 100% borrowed land. We're sitting here. We have, think about this too. This community that we have, we only have it in this space right now because there's a company, right, that uses us. God, this is going to be depressing, breaking this down. There's a company that uses us for advertising revenue, and in return, they give us a plentiful, almost endless amount of server farm space to dump our mindless videos on. Just willy-nilly. Like tomorrow, I can upload a video of a close-up of my armpit for 3 hours. And YouTube will just go, thank you. Here's some server space. Do with it what you will. That armpit video, fantastic. You're probably not going to get any views, but good luck for you. Good on you for trying, nipper. Right? So we have this amazing space, but it comes at a price. You know what I'm saying? That we are the product. Yeah, there you go. We are the product. And that comes with, you can get upset about it all you want. You stomp your feet. Sorry, I dropped something. You can stomp your feet and go, I'm so angry about it, but who cares? Really, I would rather have targeted ads coming to me where, look, if they're listening to me and they hear me talking about that new licking machine I want to get where it's like it's a rotating flavor pole and it just goes round and round. If they hear about my fantasy about the rotating licking pole and they start serving me ads about the rotating licking pole, I will buy the rotating licking pole, all right? And I will finally pull the trigger on it and I will share it with all of you. What? I think I need a coffee. The point is, when the internet first began, I'll get back to the point. When the internet first began, there weren't community standards. You didn't have all this shit that we have now. There was we started with bulletin boards. All right, bulletin boards. If you're old enough, you'll remember what bulletin boards are. And it was all through the phone line. It wasn't instant gratification like now. You just can't get a licking pole. Listen, Semtex, shoot me a message afterwards, mate, and I'll fix you up with the licking pole. All right. Anyway, sorry, folks. I'm off track again. What is this show? Why are there 35 of you here? Do you not have anything better to do? Go away. No. So when the internet came out, we had IRC. IRC was a really, big place to chat. That was the place. And it was all very slow back and forward. But there was a Wild West. There were no community standards. You could get on there and you could say whatever the hell you wanted. You could be as offensive and horrendous and just diabolically ridiculous and send some photos of the things that these days, horses and... does anyone remember those times? The Wild West of the internet. Yeah? And you open an email and there's a video that says R.M. Williams and you're like, oh, is this a shoe video? And you open up and there's a horse and there's a stable and... What? IRC days, exactly, IRC, right? So there are no community standards back there. What I'm saying is you could get away with doing anything you want. And somehow it all seemed to be okay. It all seemed to be okay. Like the world didn't implode, right? Cats and dogs weren't living together yet. So everything was okay. Was it, it was okay. But as, I'll tell you when it changed for community standards, when we really started to get community standards. Because we're going to start, of course, today by talking about Facebook and, of course, YouTube with their community standards. The times when community standards came in was when there was money involved. Okay? So when it's just YouTube and you're just uploading a video of your armpit that you'd been working on for 3 hours in the hopes of getting a licking pole, there was no money. So there were no advertisers, right? As soon as advertisers are on board, it's no longer like complete freedom of speech of people just like uploading their favorite licking pole videos and all that stuff. No, now we have advertisers who are providing the monetary, the money to YouTube in turn, who dish it out to content creators for their content, And then that's when community standards became a thing, of course, because the companies have to protect their brand. I mean, I'm a brand. Everybody here who's got a channel, you're a brand. And you have to look after your brand as much as being a part of a community space as well. Yeah. So advertising comes in, and of course there's community standards. And these standards, now we get fed all the time that they are for our safety and, you know, for people to feel welcome and to not alienate people, to make sure people don't get, you know, bullied and all this kind of stuff. But at the same token, these community standards are here for advertisers, or we're not going to have this amazing system, no matter how broken it is, of being, you know, content creators that can actually make money. Not to mention there was no copyright enforcement. Yes. So again, the whole world changed with music, something we're all entrenched in as well too, because, you know, we all know we don't know the day, but remember the dark times, the times of Lars Ulrich and the whole Napster drama, and we were all just downloading music, and I was like, wow. Whatever that is, that's me downloading. All right, so we're all downloading music, and then all of a sudden they're going to regulate it, of course. So music gets regulated, Apple steps in, copyright becomes a thing. So they have to protect some kind of, they have to make some kind of community standards. They have to stand up because, all right, think about this. You make a video and you say something absolutely abhorrent, and it hits, somebody falls on your video, watches it, and they're in a terrible state of mind, right? Because no matter what you say, that people should get over their fucking feelings and all this shit, you can't like just blanket say that, because there's people right now all around the world that aren't very happy. They're very, very sad. And you can't understand it because you're not living inside their head. So if you make a video that has advertising on it and you tell this, you're like saying, hey, you, this kind of person that I'm making a video about, go and fucking... Wrong sound effect, but adequate. Go fucking... And that person goes and does that, you're responsible, and the advertiser's responsible as well. Their ad is on your video of you playing a part. So this is where community standards come in. Like, they actually have some relevance. All right. I'll tell you where they really irritate people, community standards. And this may hurt. I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off right now and tell you. They hurt people who love going around to irritate other people. They really do, because like, what? You're saying I can't go around and irritate people and make people feel uncomfortable? That's criminal. How dare you put community standards on me and say that I can't go around and make people feel like absolute crap? They're the real people, they're the ones who always yell loudest about community standards. And of course, there's problems with community standards where people get caught up in certain rules and stuff that things aren't taken into context. So of course that stuff happens. So don't get me wrong. We saw it here on my channel when I got banned for writing a song about prosperity churches saying that trans people should be, you know, and they took it as me writing a song saying that trans people should be. So things get pulled up that shouldn't get pulled up. That's always going to happen in blanket. You know, when you have these blanket laws, there's always going to be things that happen that you go, oh, shit, how do we fix that to make that better? And you can only amend those rules and try and balance it so that kind of doesn't, if it's happening a lot, that things are getting through, you can try an amendment. That's why these things are called amendments. Just for Americans, amendments. They're not locked in stone. Anyway, The issue is that when the rule is made, it now applies to you too. Well, unless you have a crown or something like that, or like you are the sheik of Alibaba or something like that. But, you know, look, it's never going to be a perfect situation. It just is what it is. And hopefully, like, and I'm not sticking up for YouTube. I'm surely not doing that, or Facebook or anything like that. I'm definitely not sticking up for them. But the thing is, they've got to constantly try and keep things moving and try and look at situations, take things into account, and try to change them and grow them with the way times change. It was ironic that we wouldn't need official community standards if community had standards, and that's where I'm getting right now. We've had the preamble. Right, so I am setting this up, Mark. Oh, God, Mark, I ought to give you a lollipop. Let me give you a sound effect that'll make you happy. What can I give a sound effect? Let's give you this one.
Stunning.
There you go. There's your sound effect.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
There you go. So, community standards. All right. We are at the halfway point, and I've set my beginning to my place, and we're going to run the ad like we do. Speaking of YouTube, my overlords, yes, YouTube, yes. I hear the voice above. I hear it above. It's always telling me, whispering in my ear. Can you guys hear it? The YouTube voice? I can hear it. I'll try and put it through the microphone.
Play the ad, Jade.
That wasn't me. That was definitely the YouTube voice telling me to play the ad. All right, so if you want to avoid the ad, you can become a YouTube Premium member or sit through it. We'll wait for you to come back. The ad's been run, hopefully. Yes, it has. And while we're waiting, let me tell you what's going on the channel. Then we get back into it for this week because all the shows are up for this week. Exciting stuff. Terzo's in the house. Oh, hello, Frank Terzo. Good to see you as always. Oh, man. All right. So what is coming up this week? So something special tomorrow. Who would have thought tomorrow is actually my 18th year, officially my 18th year on this platform. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different because Pete Johns just celebrated his 8 years. And I know Thomas just had a kind of birthday, he's been on YouTube a long time too. So I'm going to delve into the dark, deep recesses of my original video. Oh, God, I'm already fucking feel sick thinking about it. I'm going to show you some of the most embarrassing shit that I've tried to bury on YouTube. Because 18 years is a long time. I joined YouTube on the 6th of February, 2006. That's how long ago I joined YouTube. And I've been making videos ever since. And trust me, it took me a long time to get anyone to watch my videos because guess what? I'm a musician and nobody gives a fuck about music on YouTube. Nobody cares. And it wasn't until like 4 years ago I still had 300 subs. It's just the way it is. What else is happening? Let's quickly go through them. Then the day after, we're taking a look at Chem Olkay's brand new autofills, where he has made this amazing app that auto-populates drum fills for you. Look at that photo. That's my best Kiwi Maori. Komati, komati. What the hell is going on there? Then we're taking a look at TerraPro the day after. They got a new in-app purchase called Rings. And then we're wrapping up the week with possibly something that could go completely tits up. Oh, God help me. Create a rewind with Brad example. No. I don't know where that's going to go. All right, let's get back to it. So, community standards. So yeah, Facebook has all these standards. YouTube, look at these standards. Look how they market these standards. Look at the artwork. It's so like I find community standards pages from social media pages these days just so gaudy and pastel, and everything's just like, God, look at it. It's also like, I don't know, kind of childlike. Facebook's even worse. Look at Facebook's standards page. Look at this video. Look at that artwork. It's so gaudy. It's just with their little cartoons. Look at they're so pastel and bland and just, I don't know, homogenous, and they want everybody to be exactly the fucking same. I mean, especially Facebook. You know, Facebook was just, yeah. I'm not here to slander and slag and do all that stuff today. But yeah, these are the community standards. So let's talk about this community. In particular, all right, so let me disclaim again. I'm not here to talk about other people's channels. I can't sit here and have judgment or tell other people, even within this community, how to run their channels. That is, to me, idiotic. It is none of my business how people run their channels. I can only focus on how I cultivate and try to lead by example on my channel and tell you where I've come from on YouTube to have some of these values, because I do have a core, regardless on how crass I can be sometimes. And, you know, I can say some things which, yes, they're offensive, and it's me. Trust me, I try so hard to bite my tongue every day and not be as offensive as what I used to be. So there's that. But I do try to create a culture where people are free to express themselves and be edgy and be offensive and be silly, right? As long as there's no hate, right? And the other thing is don't try and convert people to something. Like, remember, these are just me and how I manifest my channel, what I like here. And we're not here to like knock on people's doors and tell people what they should be believing and stuff like that, right? But have respect for what people do believe. That's the kind of thing. But here's the thing. I came from starting this channel during the pandemic because I felt like there was a gap in the community. Now, it's a very different community now. It's much broader. You know, 2020, there was Pete Johns and me and Metalhead Hippie. Metalhead Hippie's been around the longest playing people's music in this community. We had Ron Ward, who was back on Facebook back then doing the same show but on Facebook. And Thomas was just like coming into getting ready to stream and do his stuff. So it was a much smaller community. There weren't as many shows that were playing people's music and such, and as many artists coming into the community and spread across multiple channels and all that stuff. So I came from Pete Johns' community, and I can tell you, like, a wonderful place to come from because, and Thomas, any of the moderators over there on Thomas's channel, on Pete's channel, can tell you, we rarely have to do anything, right? There's so little to like police because the channel just always self-policed. And that's a really amazing thing. That's something, don't get me wrong here, I love this community, but one of the main reasons I feel so good about a lot of the community is the ability that people have to self-police. That's what makes things really different than so many other places. I've been on so many communities on the internet. Oh yeah, don't forget the GarageBand guide. Yeah, but I guess what I'm talking about, Deep Gravity, are live streamers in this case, right? So I should clarify live streaming because like it's a different kettle of fish for pre-recorded videos on YouTube because you have comments that are left and to simmer. Where on a live stream, anything can happen and it's live and it's instant and it's parasocial. So it's a very different kettle of fish where comments afterwards are a different beast. So I should say I'm talking about live streaming because, you know, live streaming is growing and growing and growing here on YouTube. And Pete was where I cut my teeth there because I found Pete on YouTube. I was lucky enough to go over there to Pete. And I was just so blown away by the amount of little, like, policing had to be done. And the main people, like me and Thomas will tell you, who we get rid of on Pete's channel are fucking self-promoters who come in and just go during YML, play my song. It's like, no, fuck off. And we'll get to that as well in a sec. So and I took away a lot of the values, and I think it's because it's the person who runs the show. That's what I got from it. Pete Johns does a really good job. No matter if you think he sits on the fence, he bites his tongues on his tongues. Pete's got multiple tongues. Get Pete a licking pole stat. I don't know who I'm turning to ask that, but what the fuck? Whatever. Get Pete's. You may think Pete, is maybe sits on the fence a little bit, but it's that being careful. Being careful and considerate and, thinking about what you say before you say it. That's been a tough thing for me here on YouTube because, trust me, you're going to see on my 18-year show just how much I never used to do that. In fact, I've had to go back through many of my videos on YouTube and remove them lately because I'm scared YouTube are going to go back and find them and then I'm going to get done. Yes, licky. So I was lucky enough to be cultivated in Pete's chat and get a really good education in how to let things flow and let the community police itself. And if people are going to be continued dicks and, come in just to push a narrative of trying to coerce people to do something that isn't related to what we're doing, hey, you should do this, or then you'll get a warning and then you're gone. And even here on this channel, since I've started this, my moderators can tell you, we haven't had too much drama. And that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. And they don't really do much in the world of policing things. And if there is a drama, I never address it here on the show. Right? I never address it on the show because this is my show. I'm doing a show. I'm entertaining you. I don't have time to sit here and have something hijacked by somebody. There are people here to you don't go and watch a TV show or the news and all of a sudden the newscaster's sitting there going, and today in the news where we lots more fear we could feed you to scare you all. Hang on a minute, my wife's calling. What? The kid was what? Oh. That doesn't happen. The show doesn't get broken up by some drama and everybody get put on hold while this asshole sorts out some idiot going on. No. So here, if something happens, we let it go, whatever, and then we fix it up afterwards. Put them in the hide list afterwards so they never know that they're gone. Anyway, but that's it, right? Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the negative energy. Don't get into it. There's some people who definitely want to just come in and just post stuff, very negative stuff just to get a reaction. And you know what they want too? They want to get banned. Why do they want to get banned? Because they want to be a victim. You'll find a lot of the same people who go around calling people victims are desperately trying to incite anger and then get somebody to ban them just so they then can be a victim and then run around everywhere going, oh, I got banned just for having an opinion. It's no, you got banned for being a fucking asshole. That's just it. So, do I think that we need an overall blanket set of rules for such a broad community? Absolutely not. No way. I don't want that. Because I would never want to dictate to any other channel on here my feelings and how I react to things and what my core belief system is. You do you, right? But but you remember, as a channel owner and somebody who is up here every day talking to people, it's your responsibility to cultivate positivity at the end. You can talk about dark subjects. You can talk about confronting subjects. And I try to do a broad stuff on here and sometimes go down dark places. But trust me, there's intent behind it. And I do want to always bring it back to something positive. Talking about sensitive subjects. I know I've done mental health stuff on here, but there's an intent to bring it back and hopefully build people. Like, I think one of the things we need to remember as a community is, as a chatter, as a streamer, as a musician, whatever you make, whatever you partake in, make sure when you arrive, by the time you leave it better than when you arrived. That's a very important thing to remember. If you're coming in to like just scatter the fucking stones and see who you can rile up, that's you. That's on you, man. Like, you need to maybe rethink some stuff. And this is stuff that I'm not sitting here telling you all this to tell you what to do. I'm just sharing my thoughts, right? Just sharing my thoughts on like how I feel about community and what I try and cultivate here. Again, I need to reiterate. This is just my core belief from what I try to do here. And yes, again, I'll reiterate. I say some things sometimes that offend people, right? I see Princess come in here sometimes and I go, I say something and go, oh, damn, are you all right, Princess? But I know Princess is all right because she's my friend, right? And at the same time, right, there's some people here who don't have my sense of humor. But I guess it's the way you deliver it that the people who you wouldn't expect to like laugh at that may get a laugh from it if they know your intent, if they know that it's harmless, that you do love people. Let's talk briefly about stalkers, because I've got one at the moment. And if you're watching right now, seriously, fuck off. I'm done. No more. No, just don't bother. It's get help. There you go. That's done. You're going to get this kind of stuff as well, right? The more you're on here and you're talking and you're putting yourself out there, this is a parasocial environment. This is television with interactivity. People can find you and say things to you, and they can continually say things to you, and they can on and get really messed up. You know who you are. Okay? There's that. That's all I'm giving energy to that, but I needed to say it because it is a part of the community that you don't realize is going on, folks. The more people watch your content and the more subscribers you get, the more people think you're actually talking to them and telling them personally that, and they hear this thing that maybe is like, I love you. And it's like, no, I don't. I don't actually want to like hook up with you and fuck you. You're wrong. Seek help. There we go. A couple of other things I want to mention about community. And these are little things that just irritate me. And then we'll bring it home and, of course, be positive. All right. So if you came here today thinking this is going to be me like airing all my dirty laundry and going, I don't like what's going on in the community and all this, that's not what this is about. I believe in all of you, right? But we'll get to that. A couple of pet peeves I really hate. And if you are this person, please fix it. I'm not naming names or anything. This isn't a name and shame. If you are a person who emails people in a group, please, for the love of God, please, 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 use the blank section, the blank copy section to put people's email addresses in. Please. Please, 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 please. Please don't send a mass email out in the main email bar with everybody's email addresses, because here's why. The internet can be a very, very strange place sometimes. And there are some people out there who aren't here for the best intentions. And they're looking for information. It's a sad fact of community that, again, not all community is all smooth sailing. Sometimes there's some weird people out there. We have handles here on YouTube and various chat places for a reason. Some people don't want to put their names out there. When you copy people in and put their names in the top bar of an email and not in the blank section where it's all blanked out, you are putting people at risk of being doxxed. It's very important. And I'm not singling you out. And if you've done this, I'm not telling you off. Just try to remember this, please, because it's very important, right? Because we're at a point where there are some people out there who are solely trolling social media, desperately obsessed with people trying to get any skerrick of information they can to fucking make your life painful. Let me tell you, I've been there. I've had people do this to me for over 2 years. Not here, not in this place, other places. And it wears you down, and it's just not. So there you go. It's one thing. And another thing I do want to touch on. If you are somebody, we all love sharing our music, right? And here's the deal, my friends. We have so much opportunity right now to share our music. So many shows. They're everywhere, right? We are blessed with places just here on YouTube to share our music in a space where the music industry is so competitive and so owned by conglomerates, and, you know, it feels like you're banging your head against a wall to get anybody notice you in the music industry. And we are so lucky to have this community where even amongst ourselves, we get to share our music so easily with each other, and hopefully new people come in and see that. So we, in the face of corporate conglomeratism, right, we have been able to manifest a space where we are overcoming and beating it to some kind of degree, even though it's still a pin drop in the ocean. So where am I going with this? If you're somebody who makes a video and uploads it to YouTube and then goes into private message with everybody on your friends list and sends a link to that song, stop it! Stop it! At least say hello. Or like when you ask if I'm doing okay, hi, how you going? And I say, I'm doing okay, how are you? I'm doing okay. And the next response is a link to a fucking YouTube video of a song you've just released. Relax, man. I'm already subscribed. I've probably already seen it. I'm hoping that you're my friend and we can have a chat. Like, before you bomb me with fucking links. Like, it's 2004. If you've been on the internet long enough and you're still at that point doing stuff that you were doing 25 years ago where it was irritating then, trust me, I used to do it all the time. I've been there, I've done it. And I didn't realize how intrusive it was until one day I went through some of my messages to people and was like, fuck, I send way too many links. Now, this is 5 years ago. I stopped doing this a long time ago. For the love of God, stop, relax, chill. Nearly everybody you chat to, if you're a friend, they've most likely seen that video. You don't need to promote to that point, right? It's 2000. Did I say 2004? Did I say 2000? I don't know. What day is it? 2024. Is that what day it is? Day, year? I don't know. But no, really, like I'm passionate about this because it upsets me. I want to have a friendship with you. I want to have a conversation. I don't want you to tell me, like, ask me how I am. I mean, one person I know, I swear it's like a pattern. Hi, how you going? Okay. How are you going? Okay. Next comment, link, every single time. And I've stopped responding to it because I'm just, what am I? Am I just a link farm? Am I just like a farm for you? Fucking, is that it? Like, if that's the friendship, goodbye. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Fucking, because I feel like when you ask me how I am, I may as well just say, I've got cancer. because you wouldn't care anyway. You still just, the whole purpose isn't really to find out how I am. It's to drop your link. You know what? I'm on your Facebook as well too. I've already seen you drop it on your page. I don't need it in my fucking personal box. And also too, if you're going to tag people in your videos, right? And you tag somebody in your video that has nothing to do with me or somebody else, and then you send them an email saying you don't like something that they said, don't tag me in your fucking videos for clout. Have some standards, man. There you go. I've got out a bit of a rant today. Pisses me off. It really does. Like, we're fucking humans, man. We're not just content fucking absorbers. Right? We've got feelings. Contrary to what some people think, that we're just like, you know, our feelings don't matter, and if you fucking show your feelings, you're a fucking idiot. No, we're like, we've got problems, we've got things that we've got to deal with, we've got joys, we've got sadness, we've got all these things. Fucking, we're not just like there to fucking hoover up your music 24 hours a day. That's why we have this community. It's amazing. And let's bring it home and then play our song for today. This community, I want to share with the whole world. Is it perfect? No, nothing's perfect. We're going to have ups and downs, ebbs and flows, all this stuff. That's community. Hello, Manny and Miss Luck. And if I've missed you in the chat while I'm ranting away, right? We're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have disagreements. We're going to have times where, you know, there's edgy. People are on edge. There's going to be times when there's a large amount of people who are not feeling well. They're sick. There's people who are on extreme highs. There's people who are dealing with... This is the ebb and flow and the emotional fucking vacuum that is these communities. But I think what is wonderful, and hi Paul as well, it's the ability to not be policing each other. I think if we can keep on with this, I think we're in a really, really good place. Take a look around. Like, you know what? It costs nothing to just take a look around, and instead of say that thing or type that thing, that you just hold on to it for a second and just go, does that need to be said? I try to do that every day and try and get better and better and better and try not to offend people, but at the same time, try to offend people too, because sometimes you need to get a little bit of offensive. You know what I'm saying? But just discretion, just, you know, keep doing what you're doing is what I'm saying, because you're doing it okay, all right? This isn't a rant to tell you what I think you should do. Just keep doing what you're doing, yeah? Because it's all good. Got to read the room. Yeah, read the room. All right, I've yabbered on long enough. Thank you for hanging out and listening to this dribble that I do every Sunday. I hope you get something out of these shows and have some fun and just, you know, just get to unwind and listen to some idiot talk about your nonsense. I am your jester. I am the licking pole queen. Today I'm going to play a song from an amazing artist named Glenn Clark. He is absolutely sensational. I've interviewed him on the show. He's one of the most fucking brilliant artists in this community. His video clips are far ahead of everybody else's. One of the most creative human beings. He's from New Zealand. He's just dropped a brand new track. And once again, it is innovative, simple, and just incredible. And then I'm going to dump you all over to Pete Johns, yeah, for YML. He's going to play your music. And I'll see you here tomorrow for 18 years of YouTube for me. I love you all, except for you, stalker, right? Not literally, like, you know, don't want to, all right? You're all fantastic. Let's go out with this wonderful song called Won't Forget You. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. See you later.
Future plans are fading fast. History is not decided. Won't be long till I am free. I'll be seeing you. Wish the world would stop and breathe. Will you ever say I won't forget you? Future plans are fading fast. History is not decided yet. We're too impulsive to retreat. We've got a job to do. Wish the world would stop and breathe. Will you ever say I won't forget you? Will you ever say I won't forget you? We can pretend that we'll be alright. I know it depends on how we end tonight. Will you be the one to say the future's bright? Just set this bleeding heart alight. Future plans are fading fast. History is not decided. Will you ever say I won't forget you? 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 Will you ever say I won't forget you?